Welcome to AnthroDorphins, a series that relieves the pain and elevates the pleasure of studying anthropology. I'm Rob Lemelson, an anthropologist and filmmaker. Kinship is one of the first topics anthropologists studied over 150 years ago. While the term may seem quaint, issues of intimate relationships never get old. Part 1, Kinship Structures, outlines different ways of structuring family through marriage. Part 2, Brothers, Sisters, and Beyond, explores siblinghood and culturally specific kin relationships. Part 3, Oedipus Ubiquitous, questions whether there are universal psychological dynamics between parents and children. Part 4, Kinship and Contemporary Family Making, offers an anthropological perspective on significant contemporary shifts in the ways family is created and defined. And Part 5, Manipulating Kinship, Cults and Politics, explores what happens when kinship structures and family ties are interrupted or controlled for political purposes.
No, I am your father. I don't have friends. I got family.
Who are you? This is my family. It's little and broken, but still good. Yeah, still good.
Kinship fundamentally means family. This can refer to biological or blood relations, or to the culturally defined relationships between individuals who are commonly thought of as having family ties. Anthropologists have long been interested in kinship because the family is the fundamental unit of social organization. Some sort of kinship structure is present in every society and ultimately influences other culturally specific ways of classifying people, forming groups, assigning tasks, and more. Earlier work in anthropology took a functionalist and structuralist approach to kinship, interested in the technicalities of kinship categories and genealogical descent, marriage, affinal alliance, and the resulting rights and duties associated with certain kinship roles. More recent approaches move away from genealogy and kinship systems to focus on individual meaning, behavior, and agency. These explore the experiences of attachment and investigate how kinship intersects with cultural ideas and practices, such as regarding gender, power, and the body.
Look, there isn't going to be one kind of family in the year 2000. We're moving towards a world with options. We're moving towards a world in which people can set up all kinds of families. What we can look forward to is a diversity of families.
Overall, the study of kinship has been fundamental to the discipline of anthropology because it has helped illustrate the diverse variations on this most basic unit of social life and ushering in ongoing discussions on the role of biology and culture in developing them.
Kinship structures can primarily be understood in terms of descent, marriage, and siblingship. Descent determines answers to such questions as who takes the family name, who is given property when elders die, who is thought to inherit particular characteristics or roles of parents, caretakers, or ancestors. Marriage rules govern who is allowed to marry who, how many people are involved in a union, how child-rearing roles are determined, and more. Siblingship might address such issues as who counts as a full brother or sister and how age seniority is understood. There are additional aspects to kinship, such as ritualized relationships or taboos, that are specific to particular cultures and societies. Descent. There are two overarching forms of descent, unilineal and cognatic. Unilineal descent traces inheritance through one line of ancestors, either the male or the female. This type of descent has been most commonly found among smaller-scale societies with surplus food supplies, such as rich foragers and small-scale farmers. When descent is traced through the male line, this is known as patrilineal descent. Here, both males and females belong to their father's kin group, but not their mother's, and only males pass on their family identity to their children. A woman's children are members of her husband's patrilineal line. Balinese descent is patrilineal.
Kalau orang Bali itu untuk bercerai, dia sulit. Kalau seumpama reinkarnasi dalam kawitan agama Hindu, seumpama saya sudah meninggal, otomatis saya turun itu temurun lahir ke tempat keluarganya suami saya, umpamanya anak saya atau anaknya Wayan Sadr yang laki. Patrilineal itu garis keturunannya dia takut. Kalau masalah cerai itu di mana-mana kan gampang. Nanti kita mati tuh kemana kita arah tujuannya.
When descent is traced through the female line, this is known as matrilineal descent. When using this pattern, individuals are relatives if they can trace descent through females to the same female ancestor. While both males and female children are members of their mother's matrilineal descent group, only daughters can pass on the family line to their offspring.
This landowner has a son, and also, much to her satisfaction, 2 daughters.
In Kazi society, overall responsibility lies with mothers. The mother is the head of the family. When she dies, her daughter inherits her property. That's how it's been for generations.
The Kazi practice matrilineal descent. The youngest daughter of the family, the Ka Kedu, inherits all ancestral property. Sons live with their mothers until they get married. Then they move in with their wife's family. Every time a daughter marries, the family extends the property to accommodate her new family.
Our children have their mother's name, not their father's name. Your task as a man is to fulfill your family's needs. The women are in charge of the home and the property. They make sure everything runs smoothly.
In societies using matrilineal descent, the mother's brother, as the closest elder male kinsman, often takes on significant responsibilities in raising offspring. So biological fathers play a larger role in rearing their sister's children than their own. Inheritance may also follow a similar pattern. The Ashanti Kingdom of central Ghana exhibits this kind of unilineal descent. The king traditionally passes his title and status on to his sister's son, who is a member of the ruling matrilineal group, rather than his own, who is not. In Cognatic Descent, as opposed to unilineal descent, descent is determined by both male and female lines. The 4 basic types of Cognatic Descent are bilineal, ambilineal, parallel, and bilateral descent. In bilineal descent, individuals trace both patrilineal and matrilineal descent, where each descent line governs different aspects of social duties and property inheritance. The Toda of southern India practice bilineal descent. Property is inherited patrilineally, and ritualistic privileges and duties, particularly for funerals, are inherited matrilineally. In ambilineal descent, the individual may choose which line of descent to claim, depending on family status and individual situation. This can work in different ways. For instance, if a man marries a woman from a politically or economically more important family, he may agree to let his children identify with their mother's family line to enhance their prospects and standing within the society. The ambilineality of the Boot Haritari in Oceania works slightly differently and is expressed through locale. Here, descent allows for membership in a number of different descent groups and access to their gardens as inherited from a founding ancestor. Over the course of their lives, people may move, and in doing so, shift their primary affiliation and claim rights to different gardens. Parallel descent is gender-based, with men claiming the patrilineal line of descent and women the matrilineal. The Apinaye of Brazil practice parallel descent. Finally comes bilateral descent. In bilateral descent, all offspring trace descent from all biological ancestors regardless of their gender or side of the family. Non-biological family members may also count into descent and kinship, albeit more distantly, such as quote-unquote in-laws. This descent pattern is characteristic of large agricultural and industrial nations. It is common throughout Europe and the Americas. A slight male bias may be present in marriage and naming practices, such as in North America, where a man's last name has typically been taken by his wife and children. Marriage. There are two major forms of marriage found most commonly around the globe: monogamy and polygamy. Monogamy refers to being married to only one spouse at a time.
If you ask couples why they chose monogamy, you'll hear one answer again and again. They fell in love.
We met in a candy store, 1946.
We went to college together.
We were both in a relationship then. We didn't cheat.
I look so guilty every time we talk about it.
I'm bad at talking about this.
It's arranged marriage. Whatever they selected for me, it was good. And I'm very happy with that.
We had a study date one night, and that study break turned into anatomy, I guess.
I've never felt this way about anybody before.
I feel God has blessed us. We found true love.
But monogamy and love aren't the same thing.
We are so psychotically welded to this idea that monogamy means love and love means monogamy. In the absence of monogamy, there is not love.
Love is a feeling. Monogamy is a rule. You'll only have sex with this one person, and most people live in a culture where they're expected at some point to make that rule a legal contract called marriage.
Polygamy, or plural marriage, refers to being married to more than one spouse at a time. There are two main variations on polygamy. Polygyny is when one man is married to multiple women at the same time.
Ada aliran lama atau semacam, kalau saya bilang old school, ya, old school of thought di Bali, bahwa percaya sekali dengan konsep kesaktian itu bisa didapat dari diperoleh dari dengan punya istri banyak. Semakin banyak punya istri, Anda akan semakin sakti. Ini juga masih, ya, mungkin dalam Hinduisme, ya, konsep Bhairava, ya, bahwa nafsu itu tidak perlu di restrain, tidak perlu dikekang, tapi harus diikuti sampai tentang konsep lust, ya, sampai menemukan titik maksimum.
Udah tuh Haji berdua istri sami tuh jumlahnya sami kurang nih kan? 10. Haji ngayun cerita kedek sana lantai kedek Haji.
Lingkungnya baru perjodohan dan keningan tuh, memang pembagian yang hal lain sekali. Dumul untuk rumah di dumul nakah yang bertulungan dan kedatin gitu. Ini kepercayaan ini.
This tension between human desire and society's needs is recognized by the Wadabi of Niger. They are nomads. But when they settle a while, love and marriage are much on their minds. They have two sorts of marriages, those which are arranged and those which just happen. The first for family, stability, the second for love, the madness. Somehow they both exist together.
The Wadabi are polygamists. Each man can marry as many wives as his financial situation permits. That is, the number of cows he owns. But this is not what differentiates them from other polygamous societies. The difference is that it is the women who choose. According to them, for a man to be attractive, he must have a broad forehead, a large nose, white teeth and eyes, and a nice voice. During the Jarawal festival, the men dance dressed up as women, while the women decide who they will spend the night or the rest of their days with. Until the time of marriage, Wodabe women enjoy complete sexual freedom, which is only restricted from the birth of their first child. After marriage, they lose this freedom, but acquire the right to divorce their husband and return to their mother's camp, or go with another man without this leading to any rejection from society.
A much rarer form of marriage than monogamy or polygamy, group marriage occurs when multiple individuals are married to each other at the same time. This is distinguished from polygamy. In group marriage, all members are considered married to each other and practice a certain extent of sexual communalism, where in polygamy, the spouse of one gender is the only one considered married to co-wives or co-husbands and the only one enjoying a sexual relationship with them. In Alaska, Yupik people entered into formally acknowledged couple-to-couple marriages before missionaries banned the practice in the early 20th century. In the United States, the utopian Oneida community, founded in 1848, considered themselves all to be married to each other, and any male-female pair in the 200-plus group could have sex. Even in cultures where it is acknowledged and approved, group marriage tends to be in the minority.
Marriages could vary not only in the number of people they involved, but the types of people as well. Although the names and laws for such arrangements may have differed, publicly recognized same-sex unions have popped up in various civilizations throughout history. Mesopotamian prayers included blessings for such couples, while Native American two-spirit individuals had relationships with both sexes. The first instances of such arrangements actually being called marriage come from Rome, where the emperors Nero and Elagabalus both married men in public ceremonies, with the practice being explicitly banned in 342 AD. But similar traditions survived well into the Christian era, such as adelphopoiesis or brother-making in Orthodox churches, and even an actual marriage between two men recorded in 1061 at a small chapel in Spain. Nor was marriage even necessarily between two living people. Ghost marriages, where either the bride or groom were deceased, were conducted in China to continue family lineages or appease restless spirits, and some tribes in Sudan maintained similar practices. Despite all these differences, a lot of marriages throughout history did have one thing in common. With crucial matters like property and reproduction at stake, they were way too important to depend on young love.
How do you understand the kinship structure of your own family? What would your kinship chart look like? How and why do you think kinship structures matter today? How are kinship structures understood differently today than previous generations of your family? How do you think kinship structures and practices might change over the next 50 years?
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about the study of kinship and family, here are some useful resources in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get your regular dose of AnthroDorphins.